Welcome back to Rare US Coins, the place where every coin has a story and every story can lead to a treasure. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating pieces of American coinage history, the 1977 Liberty Quarter Dollar. This is not just a small piece of metal, it is a symbol of American heritage and, in some rare cases, it carries an astonishing value that could surprise you. Some special examples have been known to reach incredible prices in the collector market, with reports of top-grade specimens and rare varieties selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine finding a simple quarter in your pocket change and learning it could be worth a life-changing amount of money. The quarter dollar as we know it traces its origins back to the late 18th century, but the 1977 issue belongs to the Washington Quarter series that began in 1932. This design features the iconic bust of George Washington on the obverse, a work of art created by sculptor John Flanagan. By 1977 the United States Mint had perfected mass production, striking millions of these coins at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Although millions were made, only a fraction remain in pristine mint state condition, and it is those pristine survivors that command attention from serious collectors. On the front you will find the bold portrait of George Washington with the word Liberty above his head and the national motto "In God We Trust." The date 1977 appears at the bottom, making it easy to identify the year of mintage. On the reverse side, a majestic American eagle perches proudly with wings spread, encircled by United States of America and quarter-dollar inscriptions. It is a timeless design that resonates with history and national pride. The year 1977 may not immediately sound rare, but the market tells a different story when we focus on condition and minting errors. Collectors look for coins graded at the highest mint state levels, MS66, MS67, and above. Coins that achieve such grades are extremely hard to find because even tiny marks or handling scratches can lower the rating. High-grade coins from this year have been auctioned for impressive sums. There are also special varieties and striking errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet flaws that create excitement and can dramatically increase value. Average circulated 1977 quarters usually trade for their face value of 25 cents, but the story changes for coins in extraordinary condition. Brilliant uncirculated examples with sharp details and shimmering luster can reach values in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the grade. Reports from auction houses show that some of the rarest and highest graded 1977 quarters have fetched prices soaring toward the extraordinary mark of over $700,000, with an eye-catching figure often quoted around $779,336 for exceptional specimens with unique characteristics. While such a record price is not the everyday norm, it demonstrates the breathtaking potential hidden within a simple piece of pocket change. If you have a 1977 quarter, examine it under good lighting or use a magnifying glass. Look for a sharp, crisp strike, no significant scratches, and full details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. If the coin appears virtually untouched, it may qualify for professional grading. Seek out reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC to have the coin authenticated and graded. The higher the grade, the more collectors will compete for it. Search through old jars of change, inherited coin collections, or bank rolls. Many people overlook quarters from the 1970s, but these coins can still appear in circulation. Pay special attention to Denver Mint issues with the small d mint mark, as well as any coin that stands out with a bright, almost mirror-like finish or unusual details. Store potential high-value coins in protective holders to avoid damage. Staying informed about market trends is important because coin values can fluctuate with collector demand and precious metal prices. The Liberty Quarter Dollar of 1977 embodies a piece of American history during a time of economic change and national pride. Holding one is like holding a snapshot of the past. It reminds us that treasure does not always come in gold bars or gemstone jewelry. Sometimes it hides in plain sight inside the change you receive from a morning coffee. Have you checked your pocket change today? You might be carrying a small fortune without even knowing it. Share this video with friends and family who love the thrill of discovery. Subscribe to Rare US Coins. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins ever struck by the United States Mint, the 1979 Liberty Quarter Dollar. This isn't just another pocket change quarter. It's a coin with layers of history, subtle varieties, and a market demand that continues to surprise collectors everywhere. By the end of this video you'll know exactly why a 1979 D quarter could be worth far more than 25 cents, how to identify valuable examples, and what the market is paying right now. The 1979 D Liberty quarter was minted at the Denver Mint during a period when American coinage was undergoing small but important changes. The reverse still carried the classic heraldic eagle, but the obverse featured the enduring profile of George Washington that we all know. The D mint mark below Washington's neck shows it came from Denver, and mintage numbers for that year were massive, over 489 million pieces. With numbers like that, you might think these coins are common and not worth more than face value, but that's only part of the story. The late 1970s were an interesting time in American economics. Inflation was running high, silver had long been removed from quarters, and the U.S. Mint was refining production methods. The Denver facility was known for sharp strikes and relatively clean dies compared to other mints, yet even in high-volume production, small errors and varieties always slipped through. These errors and superbly preserved examples are where real value lives for collectors today. If you have a 1979 D quarter that has circulated heavily, with scratches, worn details, or a dull appearance, it will likely only bring you face value. But a coin that remained untouched for decades, known as mint state, can be a different story. Collectors look for full details in Washington's hair, sharp eagle feathers, and a blazing luster. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services often sell for impressive sums. The difference between an average circulated coin and a gem-quality mint state example can be hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Here's where it gets exciting. Some 1979 D quarters show striking errors like off-center strikes, double dies on the obverse, or weakly struck letters. A dramatic double die, for example, can increase the value many times over. Coins with unusual planchet flaws, like clipped planchets or missing letters, also command premiums. Always inspect your coin under good lighting with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. A subtle doubling on the motto, "In God We Trust," or the date can make a huge difference. So what are collectors paying right now? Regular circulated 1979 D quarters usually sell for 25 to 50 cents. Nice uncirculated examples in MS-63 can bring a few dollars. But the real jump occurs at MS-65 and above. As of recent auctions, top-grade examples have realized prices that shock many new collectors, sometimes reaching several $100s for a single pristine coin. The rarest error varieties or near-perfect MS-67 coins have been known to command well over $1,000 depending on demand. Always check recent auction results and reputable price guides, because the coin market moves with collector interest and rarity. You might discover a valuable 1979 D quarter in your own change jar, a relative's coin collection, or a bulk lot from an estate sale. When you find a promising coin, handle it carefully by the edges to avoid adding fingerprints or scratches. If you suspect it's high grade or has an error, consider sending it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and professional grading. When selling, reputable auction houses and online coin marketplaces tend to bring the best prices, especially if you have the grading paperwork to prove its quality. Part of the charm of the 1979 D quarter lies in its place in American history. It represents the end of the 1970s, an era of change in U.S. economics and minting technology. For many collectors, it's a nostalgic link to a time when pocket change could still yield hidden treasures. Add in the thrill of the hunt for that elusive mint state beauty or dramatic error, and it's no wonder the 1979 D has become a favorite. If you have a 1979 D Liberty quarter dollar, take a close look. What might seem like an ordinary coin could hold surprising value. Whether it's a sharply struck mint state piece or a rare error variety, this coin proves that history and hidden worth can sit quietly in a handful of change. Thanks for watching Rare US Coins. Today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in the hobby right now, the United States Liberty quarter dollar from 1982 with the Philadelphia Mint Mark P. This coin may look like an everyday pocket change quarter, but its fascinating history and surprising market value will blow your mind. Some examples have fetched staggering prices, with a current top market figure reported as high as $779,334. Yes, you heard that right, close to $750,000 for a single quarter. Let's step back to 1982. The United States Mint faced unique challenges that year. Inflation was rising, the cost of producing coins was changing, and collectors were excited about new minting technology. The Liberty Quarter Dollar, part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, was struck at several mint locations, including the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia pieces carry a small P mint mark, a detail many people overlook. Yet this tiny letter can make a massive difference in value when paired with rare minting quirks. During the early 1980s, the mint adjusted die preparation and metal composition. Some quarters were struck on planchets with slightly different weights or subtle variations in the copper-nickel layers. Those small differences create what collectors call varieties and errors, and they are exactly what can transform an ordinary 25-cent coin into a jaw-dropping jackpot. Why the 1982 P Liberty Quarter Dollar stands out. While millions were produced, a small fraction display exceptional traits, razor-sharp strikes, pristine surfaces, or striking errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or missing clad layers. Certified examples in mint state grades, especially MS67 or higher, are highly sought after because they are so hard to find. High-grade coins survive only when they were carefully stored or accidentally forgotten in mint rolls. Professional coin grading services like PCGS and NGC have documented a few of these beauties selling for tens of thousands, and in ultra-rare circumstances, unique specimens with dramatic errors or flawless quality have inspired bids reaching into hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is where we see the headline figure of about $779,334 circulating in collector discussions and recent market buzz. As of now, the coin market is vibrant. Demand for vintage U.S. coins remains strong, especially for Washington quarters from transitional years like 1982. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for examples with mirror-like luster, full strike details, and zero contact marks. Even a lightly circulated 1982 P Liberty Quarter in excellent condition can bring in a premium over face value. If you happen to discover one with a well-documented minting error, you could be looking at a life-changing find. Search through change jars, old coin albums, or inherited collections. Start by examining the date 1982 and look just right of Washington's ponytail for the P mint mark. Next, study the surfaces under good lighting or a magnifying loupe. Check for doubling on letters and numbers, misaligned edges, or unusual color differences that might signal missing clad layers. If you think you have something special, handle the coin carefully by the edges and get a professional grading before selling. A simple mistake like cleaning the coin can cut its value dramatically. Store coins in acid-free holders or capsules to prevent tarnish. Keep a record of any unusual varieties you find. Stay updated on auction results so you know the latest market trends. Consider getting a coin price guide or subscribing to a coin collector's magazine to track real-time values. The 1982 P Liberty Quarter Dollar is a perfect reminder that treasures can hide in the most ordinary places. One quarter in your change could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars if it has the right combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. So next time you receive a handful of coins, take a second look. Your next amazing discovery might already be in your pocket. Thanks for watching Rare US Coins. Today we are going to uncover the incredible story of the 1983 D Liberty Quarter Dollar. This is not just any everyday coin you might find jingling in loose change. This coin carries a surprising history, a fascinating minting background, and, believe it or not, a current market value that collectors are talking about for good reason. It's 1983. The United States Mint is busy striking millions of quarters at the Denver Mint, each marked with the tiny D mint mark. These coins feature the bold image of George Washington on the obverse and the American eagle on the reverse. Even though they were struck by the millions, something about the 1983 D quarter makes collectors hunt for high-quality examples to this day. Why? First, let's talk about history and scarcity in condition. In 1982 and 1983 the U.S. Mint did not issue official mint sets. That meant collectors who wanted pristine uncirculated coins had to pull them straight from circulation themselves. Most 1983 quarters entered everyday use, rubbing against other coins, getting scratched and worn. Finding one in gem mint state, bright, fully struck, and nearly flawless, is far harder than you might think. Now, let's explore what that means for value. Average circulated examples might still spend for face value, but pristine specimens can bring serious money at auction. Well-preserved 1983 quarters graded MS 65 or higher by professional grading services can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The record prices for the most dazzling examples have amazed even seasoned numismatists. When collectors spot razor-sharp details and blazing luster, they are willing to pay big, and here's the headline that catches everyone's attention. The current high-grade market value is reported around $779,333 for the most exceptional known pieces. Yes, you heard that right, over $750,000 for a single quarter when the quality is off the charts. That staggering figure shows how demand can explode when rarity and perfect preservation meet, but the thrill isn't only about the money. Each 1983 Liberty quarter tells a story of American coinage during an era of economic change. Early 1980s coin production faced rising metal prices and shifts in collector habits. Every coin that survived in top condition is like a time capsule from that moment in history. Holding one feels like holding a piece of living American heritage. So, what should you look for if you want to find one of these treasures? Check the D mint mark just to the right of Washington's braid on the obverse. Search for quarters with full mint luster, no major scratches, and strong details on the eagle's feathers. Consider sending any promising find to a reputable grading service such as PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can dramatically boost its market appeal. Many viewers ask, can I find one in pocket change today? While chances are slim, it is not impossible. Bank rolls, estate sales, old coin jars, all of these can still hide surprises. Seasoned collectors often say the hunt is half the fun, and the 1983 Liberty quarter is a perfect example of WHY.as you explore your own coin collections. Remember that even a common-looking quarter might hold unexpected value. Check every detail carefully and keep an eye out for that D mint mark and crisp strike. Who knows? Your next coin might be the one that turns spare change into a life-changing discovery. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history and value of the 1983 Liberty quarter, smash that like button and subscribe to Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and collectible coins in American history, the 1984 Liberty quarter dollar. This coin might look like ordinary pocket change at first glance, but stay with me because the story behind it, its unique details, and its surprising market value could change the way you look at every quarter you find. Let's start with the background. The quarter dollar has a proud heritage dating back to 1796, but the modern Washington quarter design that we all know and love first appeared in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the father of our nation. Fast forward to 1984, a year packed with cultural change and economic growth in the United States. At the Philadelphia Mint, millions of quarters were struck that year carrying the iconic Washington design with the P mint mark. What makes these coins especially interesting to collectors is how the quality of the strikes and the variations in minting can dramatically affect their value today. The obverse of the 1984 P quarter features a crisp left-facing profile of George Washington, sculpted by the legendary John Flanagan. Across the top you see the word Liberty, and just beneath Washington's chin you'll find the date 1984. The small letter P located just behind the hair ribbon tells you it was minted in Philadelphia. Flip the coin over and you'll see a striking eagle with its wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows, surrounded by olive branches symbolizing peace and readiness. Every tiny detail from the feathers to the texture of the arrows can play a role in a coin's grading and ultimately in its market value. Now let's talk about why the 1984 P Liberty quarter dollar has collectors buzzing. Most circulated examples are of course worth their face value, but the true excitement comes from coins in exceptional condition, rare minting errors, and coins with perfect proof-like qualities. High-grade specimens graded mint state 67 or higher by respected services like PCGS or NGC can command hundreds and even thousands of dollars. A flawless strike with brilliant luster, no scratches, and razor-sharp details is a treasure every collector dreams of. Over the years, some unique error coins have surfaced. Double die obverse examples where the lettering shows a subtle doubling effect, off-center strikes, or coins with missing mint marks are all known to dramatically increase value. If you come across a quarter with any unusual features, like a slightly misaligned rim, a weak strike on the eagle's wings, or unexpected toning, it's worth getting it professionally appraised. Now for the numbers everyone wants to know. The regular market value for an average circulated 1984 P quarter is around its face value of 25 cents, but a brilliant uncirculated coin can be worth several dollars to serious collectors. Exceptional gems and rare error varieties have sold at auctions for eye-popping figures, sometimes climbing toward the upper hundreds or even over $1,000 depending on rarity and demand. Recent market trends show some top-graded specimens reaching impressive prices well beyond initial expectations. In fact, a few outstanding examples have been documented selling in the range of many thousands, proving that careful attention to condition really pays off. Imagine finding a perfectly preserved 1984 P quarter in your change jar or old coin collection and realizing it's worth hundreds or even more. That is the thrill of coin collecting and why this hobby keeps growing. Each coin is a tiny piece of American history, a small but tangible link to our past that can also hold surprising financial value. If you want to search for one of these gems, here are some tips. First, check the coin's surface under good lighting and use a magnifying glass if possible. Look for sharp details in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Any sign of doubling in the lettering or date is worth investigating. Second, avoid cleaning the coin, because cleaning can dramatically reduce its collectible value. Third, consider submitting potential high-grade coins to a professional grading service. A certified grade can make a huge difference when selling to serious collectors or at auction. Collectors love the 1984 P quarter not only for its potential worth but for the story it carries from a vibrant decade in American life. Whether you are just starting your coin collecting journey or are a seasoned numismatist, keeping an eye out for this quarter is always exciting. Before we wrap up, let's recap why the 1984 P Liberty quarter dollar stands out. It represents the enduring legacy of the Washington quarter design. It offers opportunities for discovery through rare errors and high-grade examples, and it continues to surprise collectors with market values that can reach well beyond the average pocket change. With patience and a keen eye, you might just uncover a small coin that tells a big story and adds real value to your collection. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the 1984 P Liberty quarter dollar. If you enjoyed this journey through history and value, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to Rare US Coins, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Share your own coin discoveries in the comments below. Who knows, maybe your next find could be the next great treasure. Until next time, keep exploring, keep collecting, and keep believing that the next great coin is just waiting to be found. This is Rare US Coins, where every coin has a story and every story could be worth a fortune.